Welcome, my amazing viewers. Thank you so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you are connecting from. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you so much and remember blessed. Whenever you look my video, whenever you watch my video, share the video to all platforms. Share it to family and friends. Share it in your WhatsApp group so that people can get information on what is happening in the contraption called Nigeria, mainly against the Biafrans, against the Duduas, against the indigenous people in the contraption called Nigeria. I try as much as possible to set the record straight. I don't preach hate speech. I don't speak against people. I set the record straight. The only important thing I do here is to make sure that the plight of the people remains on the front burner and the world will know the true story of what is going on in the contraption called Nigeria.
Gentlemen of the press, I welcome you to this World Press Conference. That will be brief and straight to the point. It follows the sacking from the office of Ebonyi State Governor, His Excellency Chief Dave Umahi and his deputy, His Excellency Chief Efuluefu, by a federal high court of defecting to the ruling for Progressive Congress. In the same ruling, the court presided over by Justice Nnamdi also sacked 17 members of the Ebonyi State House of Assembly, who also defected with the governor and his deputy to the APC. You will recall that Governor Umahi, deputy, and the 17 lawmakers were elected on the platform of the People's Democratic Party in 2015 and again in 2019, were defected to the APC on November 17, 2020, citing, in quotes, injustice done to the Southeast, and determined to reclaim our stolen mandates. The PDP had used them, had sued them, and joined both the APC and INEC to the suit. We had prayed the court to declare that by defecting from the PDP, on whose platform they were sponsored and elected, Umahi, Igwe, and the 17 lawmakers had resigned or deemed to have resigned from office on the day of their defections. Because when people vote, they don't vote for the individual, they vote for the party. So by resigning, they were taking away our mandate, the mandate of the party. And the Federal High Court, sitting in Abuja, gave the PDP and democracy justice today. In a landmark judgment, the court ruled that the votes in any election in Nigeria are the political parties in vote and not candidates. Justice Eko consequently ordered all the affected persons to vacate office. He also ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to receive names of candidates from the PDP to replace Mrs. Umahi and Igwe. First, we want to appreciate the Nigerian judiciary for this landmark judgment. The ruling will bring order in the political space and check the issue of political rascality and stolen mandates. The judiciary is indeed the backbone of this democracy. We also want to single out Justice Nnamdi for special recognition, particularly for being courageous and forthright in going for the substance of the law rather than the technicalities. And in line with the court order, PDP is immediately submitting to INEC the names of our candidates for governor and deputy governor of Ebonyi State respectively. In fact, that already has been done. And in line with the court order, we are also calling on INEC to immediately issue the certificates of return to the PDP nominees as replacement for Mrs. Umahi and Igwe, pursuant to the order of the Honorable Court. Furthermore, we call on the Chief Judge of the Ebonyi State to immediately swear them in as soon as INEC issues the requisite certificates of return. And lastly, we call on INEC to immediately withdraw the certificates of return from the 17 lawmakers and commence the process of conducting by-elections to replace them. Thank you and God bless you all.
In the first place, there is no constitutional provision for any hatchet man to remove a governor. There are three ways whereby a governor can vacate his seat. It's either by death, resignation, or impeachment by the House of Assembly. There is no any other constitutional provision that empowers a hatchet man to turn the Constitution and the law upside down. I've listened to the judgment of Echo, and it's very obvious that he was on a mission. He was making all efforts to upturn the rulings of the Supreme Court and Appeal Court on issues like this. We have had the rumors before now that he was determined to give judgment against all known laws and the Constitution, first to embarrass APC, two, to embarrass the federal government. For me, I do not feel worried, but I feel so sorry for the judiciary. The executives may have problems, the legislature may have problems, but the moment justice could be purchased, then we are in trouble in this country. And the ruling this afternoon is a clear evidence that this country is in trouble. And let me tell you that this same judge has over 10 cases against Ebonyi State government with him. And you can imagine what is going to rule. We have petitioned him to NJC, and we will follow it up at all costs to ensure that this man is brought to justice. I want you to disregard the judgment. It is null and void. There is a substituting judgment in Zamfara State, and there is also a judgment in Ebonyi State. So we've chosen the one to obey. We will not obey his ruling. We will obey the ruling of a competent court of equal level that says you cannot sue a governor. The sections of the Constitution are very clear. No civil or criminal proceedings could be brought against a sitting governor. This is not a pre-election matter. This is not a tribunal matter. And so he has murdered justice in this country, and he will be remembered and his generation for this jungle justice, which has nothing, no leg to stand. I'm still the governor of Ebonyi State, and he has no powers to remove me. But let me say to the nation that there is a need to look at the integrity of our judiciary, because if the judiciary begins to rule against constitutional matters that are well laid down, then the citizens of this country may decide not to obey such, jungle justice. This is very important. He thought he has embarrassed me, but he has not, because I already have, a judgment in my favor, and he has no powers to remove this me that was brought by the hands of God. So I want you to relax, and I just finished my discussion with Asu, and my office is still my office. He's wasting his bloody time. And I believe strongly that he was influenced. And we have no confidence in all the cases of Ebonyi state government that is handling. And we are asking the chief judge of the Federal High Court to transfer all the cases unless himself has interest against Ebonyi state government and against the federal government. Otherwise, he should transfer all these cases back to Ebonyi. Let me also tell you that this particular case was instituted by the PDP here in Ebonyi State, in Abuja, and then we applied to the CJ of the Federal High Court, and he graciously transferred the case to Ebonyi State. Without a notification to us or our knowledge, they say that they had withdrawn the case, from Ebonyi. Who transferred the case back to the CJ of the Federal High Court? And why is it that the CJ of the Federal High Court has failed to transfer the case that they referred, back to Ebonyi State? The CJN was notified of susciting judgment in Zamfara and Ebonyi State, and it did nothing. Let me see how NJC is going to handle this, because even when judges gave judgment over matters they didn't have knowledge, they were summoned to Abuja. Let's see how an affidavit was sworn to let this Justice Ekwo know that there are judgments that are subsisting in this matter. He still went ahead and gave judgment. Let's see how this evil is going to stand. So I want all my supporters to laugh over it and know that it is judiciary on trial. If you have questions to ask me, you can go ahead and ask me. Yes, of course, they will file appeal against the useless judgment. I call it useless judgment because even though I'm not a lawyer, let me tell you one section of the ruling of a court of appeal. Court of appeal says that in any matter that is not pertaining to maybe taxes, or VAT and so on and so forth, and that is brought before the Federal High Court, that it must be referred back to the residence of the defendant. And the judge is saying that the resident of the defendant is Abuja liaison office. What a stupid reasoning is that? So, and the Supreme Court in the case of Atiku had ruled that there's no law or constitutional provision that empowers a sitting president or vice president to be removed from office on account of defection. And so, which is the same, the qualification for president is the same thing qualification for governor. So he has no right. He did not quote any section of the Constitution to empower him. And in any case, he's being careful. He didn't remove the governor. He just said PDP should submit names. And we know very well that if you did not participate as an individual in an election, Supreme Court has ruled that you cannot be declared a winner. So where is he going to manufacture the process whereby PDP should submit names, or in the alternative, they should do another election? He lacks the powers to make such judgment. So it is just a jungle justice that is purchased. And we know where it is coming from.
Your Excellency, my name is Felix Oka. Your Excellency, some people are already saying this is a move to distract you from the presidential race so that they will reduce the pressure there and also distract you from the airport project and such others. We are also afraid. Are you going to be distracted?
Do I sound distracted? I'm sounding very bold. And I'm calling Nigerians to condemn Justice Eko for the interest of the stability of this country. Such kind of, judge should not be in the judiciary. He has put the judiciary on naked trial in Nigeria, and it is a very big shame. It's a very big shame.
Okay, Your Excellency, my name is Ben Wore. With the Imo example, I know that Nigerians are still shocked over the judgment in Imo State. Are you saying that there is nothing to be worried about this judgment? Because already there are tensions everywhere that this could be a plot by some political gladiators who are also eyeing for the presidency. They want to use this means to also frustrate you. Are you saying that there is actually nothing to worry about this judgment?
Why do you have something to worry about? You're a journalist, okay, and you read things, procedures about things. You have covered tribunal cases. You've covered, court cases. If you were me, should you be worried at all? So I'll be begging you not to be worried. Not you asking me whether there's any reason. Why is it that when the court in Zamfara gave judgments, how come that people were not worried? Because the court in Zamfara said that you have no right to sue a sitting governor, and that's what Section 308 of the Constitution says. And that is the beginning of the failure of Igbo in the first place. But when you're purchased, you must discharge. And the judgment in Ebonyi State also said you have no right to sue a sitting governor. Remember the case where is it Ondo judgment, and the Supreme Court ruled that because the caretaker chairman is a sitting governor, they carefully did not join him in the suit. They were very wise. And the Supreme Court says, well, you did not join this party which you would have joined, but in any case, you can't join him because it's a sitting governor. You cannot sue a sitting governor. So the matter is very clear. It doesn't have, I've never seen any judgment in the history of Nigeria that is like this. Even in the case of the House of Assembly members, the Supreme Court Appeal Court, they have ruled to set a seat of a member aside, it has to be done by the presiding officer of the House of Assembly or National Assembly. So let me see the kind of judgment he's going to give also. But you can expect it will follow the same process because he must discharge. He has been charged and he must discharge. He has no power to declare the assist vacant. I've just quoted, the Constitution that, states that it's only the principal officer, the presiding officer, that has the powers to set such aside. It's been decided in the case of Dogara. So it is Dogara was the presiding officer when he decamped, and the Supreme Court ruled that you cannot. It's only the presiding officer that has the powers to do that. This ECO, even in a matter that's been concluded in the House of Assembly, 3 days later, he gave a restraining order for, it's like waking up a dead man. So you can see his desperation,
Thank you so much for your patience to watch from the beginning to the end. I hope you have learned something from the video you have just watched. The video you have just watched is to bring information to your doorstep and for educational purpose. It is not to demonize anybody. Let us watch continuously and see who can be able to make a sense out of every nonsense we are seeing. We must continue. We move. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what they say. They will kill us. We will kill them. At the end of the day, Biafra is here. Thank you for watching. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please kindly subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell so that you're notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you and remain blessed. Bye-bye. See you again.